come in and these property owners that are making a ton of money, and the students just blight the neighborhood. Why can't these property owners be held responsible?
You have opened up such a loaded question, and I wish we had another hour to address it. But I'll tell you this. This is what's going on. The council has passed a responsible property ownerships ordinance over the last maybe 4, 5, even 6 years now. We are being sued up the wazoo by the real estate. What am I trying to say? The real estate association, the Realtors Association, to stop any efforts to put responsible restrictions on property owners. Right. And they are a very, very powerful lobby. We have been in court over that very issue for the 4 years I have been in office. And while we're in court, nothing's happening. And it comes down to business development. I believe that is absolutely the key to reshaping the direction that the South Side is taking. The business district of East Carson Street served to exist to serve the people that lived here. The business development plan was solely to market the street to people, which in the beginning seemed like a good idea. Oh, come on down and see what the South Side's all about. And everybody did. And then we didn't realize we sent out so many invitations. And then when they all came, it was like, oh, my God, what do you do with all these people? So the businesses on the street don't serve you and I anymore. And if we began to look at the kinds of businesses we're going to put in there through our local development company, through our Chamber of Commerce, and we could accomplish great things. We can provide better amenities for people that live here. We can reduce vehicles because people don't have to drive. We can help with the parking issue. We can deliver better services to people. All of those great things. So I truly believe you've hit the nail on the head. It really is about business development. Now, I can assist, but that's not my role. I'm a legislator. But this is where we get engaged as a community with our Urban Redevelopment Authority, our Southside Local Development Company, our Chamber of Commerce, and our Community Council to demand the kinds of businesses that we want to see on the street. We, as a neighborhood, need to begin driving different businesses coming into the street. I think that will help tremendously. I hope that helped. We had another question back here. Yes, sir.
And you mentioned about our investment, about living here in Southside, and the goals that we need, or the methods we need to protect our investments. What steps have we made since December 5th, 2003, when 7-year-old Lexa Clone was killed in front of the Opera House by the drunk driver? What are we doing to make our neighborhoods safe so that we can, so our families can come and visit us, and we don't have to feel like victims in our own streets here?
Happy to answer that. I get tagged with Kraus is anti-business. That SOB, he hates bars and he hates business. No, I hate irresponsible behavior. There's a reason. There's no more democratic process for establishing law than the process we use. We vote your council by majority. I go to the body by majority vote. We rule by majority. We pass laws that we believe are in the best interest of the people by majority. It's called democracy. So clearly people have spoken. There are ways that we want to see responsible alcohol service happen. Okay? If it's illegal to operate a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol content over X amount, don't do it. It's illegal to serve a visibly intoxicated person, don't do it. If it's illegal to urinate in public, don't do it. If it's illegal to have your sound permeate from your building, don't do it. It's pretty simple stuff. So clearly no one has been more vocal on the issue than what I have been, and I've taken my lumps for it, and I'm happy to do it. But when you talk about where we are today in Lexa Cleveland and what happened, you cannot have irresponsible overconsumption without irresponsible overservice. And that the sadness of that whole situation is that it was completely preventable. It didn't have to happen. It happened because of choice. Deliberate choice is what brought that collision to be. So, what are we doing? I have a meeting with Senator Pippy in Harrisburg on Tuesday morning at 10:30. Senator Pippy is a Republican, but I will tell you this. Senator Pippy is a huge advocate in what it is that we are trying to do down here with responsible alcohol service and responsible alcohol consumption. So we're doing that on a state level because a lot of these laws exist on the state, and we have to have the state's assistance to do this. But on a local level, I commissioned a study of responsible hospitality practices. I was introduced to the Responsible Hospitality Institute at a conference in San Francisco about 3 years ago. And I went there believing we are alone, no one has the problems that we have, we suffer in silence, and there's no solution. And when I went there, what I realized is the Responsible Hospitality Institute is a 25-year-old nonprofit, internationally recognized, has worked with 200 cities on a broad base, 25 cities on a concentrated base, to resolve these very issues. And it was like a rebirth. I cannot tell you. There was hope. There is somebody out there that can help us figure out these problems.
You were involved with them before you even
no
council.
No, I've reached them through the Southside Local Development Company, and Wanda went with me. There were 6 of us that went at sponsorship of the Southside Local Development Company, and we went there. And I came back completely re-energized and thought there's hope for the problem. I hired an incredibly bright young intern from George Washington University. He spent an entire summer and fashioned the Responsible Hospitality Report of a concrete, solid solution to these problems.
Yeah.
It is published. You can read it on the City Council website. You'll go to my individual council page. There's a PDF file called Safe, Inviting, and Cohesive, a Responsible Hospitality Platform for Pittsburgh, I believe, and it's there. So after we did the study, we went back to Austin, Texas, and I attended a second conference. They were so impressed by the report that we had fashioned and the ideas we had come up with. We went back to Austin and we presented as part of that conference. Came back completely re-energized and knew we needed money to do this. So this year, in this capital budget, we allocated $100,000 to be set aside specifically to hire the Responsible Hospitality Institute to come to Pittsburgh. We passed that about 3 weeks ago. Jim Peters, the president, is in contractual negotiations with our planning department now to come to RHI, to Pittsburgh. We passed it with a unanimous vote of council. I will tell you this, and this is, if you do one thing tomorrow, I want you to phone in your anger and your rage to the mayor's office, because the mayor returned that legislation today unsigned.
Wow.
I'm going to fight to the death, and we're going to get it done, and it is going to happen. But there is hope. I'm telling you, as I live and breathe, there is hope, and we're going to fix this problem.
All right. I was passionate. It feels like we need to wrap this up. Do you have any last parting questions or shots at him?
No.
What? We're friends.
That's not fun.
Bruce is I think I kid him, but he's one of the good guys on council, and so we hope that folks have had a chance to get to know you and in a sense, we hope that their own sense of indignation will grow as a result of hearing your very passionate words tonight, because we do need to be indignant citizens, because complacent, quiet citizens don't make the changes that are necessary. Yeah, thank you, Bruce. And this is
thank you.
This has been great.
It has.